Okay, so this is an introduction to how to use the rig on the chair. Basically, the end result looks a little bit like this and this. General gist of the rig is pretty simple, really. You've got the wide view looks something like this. Each of the different controls can be animated, rotated around, same on that one and that one. It's possible that we may want to, in some instances, move this back or move it down depending on different situations. Now when the characters jump on the cushions, the first thing they'll want to do is squash and stretch those cushions, so I've got some controllers for that. Basically you select the bottom controller here and all your extras are on this. So if we scroll down to these ones here under squash pillow, we've got the left slider, makes it squash to the left. Then we've got a center slider, right slider, and this one's a little different in that it does the dead center of the pillow. The idea is that most of the characters will probably perch on the edges of their seats most of the time anyway, so the deformation sort of happens at the front just there instead, most of the time. But there is a moment at the beginning of the film Winter, and he's jumping in the middle, so that's for that part there. I wouldn't expect to have to hit on maximum, so maybe, I don't know what, let's have a look. Smaller values like this most of the time, when the character's just sitting there moving around a little bit. It's possible we might have to add some controls to the arms and the back for later on if we find we need them. But we also have this other ability. Okay, we've got basic visibility on each different thing, so depending on what it is you want to switch on and off. Okay, that might be used in some situations where there's an over-the-shoulder shot and you want to not see this in the foreground perhaps, but you do want to see the character sitting in the seat. Now the main idea though behind all the rigging that's been going on with this one that Anthony has been doing is that each of these back edges is able to animate. So let's have a look. A good example would be, for example, where are the rotations? What does this one do? Go to the back, slide that one. So we can do a wobble. Now that might not look like much here, but in actual fact you've got independent control over different levels further away. And if we layer up that animation, we should be able to get a wave that will occur. I did it in an earlier Playblast actually that you can see on the forum. And that's available on all the individual objects. Here you go. So if we animate that backwards and forwards and then offset the keys, we should be able to get a sort of wave going. And the idea is to have a sort of constant wave to show the energy flowing away from the sphere. And during more frantic scenes we might make that wave bigger. Okay, and that's pretty much all the main functions of it. This chair does in fact actually have 3 key shaders assigned to it. I think at the moment this has got the Cupid one assigned, but the idea is that basically we have a different shader for each character with slightly different hues, and they give us slightly different looking renders. Each chair will be pulled into the scene at a slightly different size and position for each of the characters, but that's the general gist of it. Thank you, see you later.